Welcome to CIO News. I am Khushbu Soni, your host for the broadcast and chief editor at CIO News. This is our exclusive interview series with the MarTech leaders. It is a recorded session and will be available on our website, that is cionews.co.in, and our CIO News LinkedIn handle. It is my pleasure to invite our guest for today. We have Devan Bhalla, Senior Manager for Brand Strategy, Social Strategic Initiatives, and Performance Marketing at Moglix. Devan is an integrated marketer who's passionate about growth, strategy, and paying attention to the detail. With a diverse experience across media, e commerce, and edtech, he has a core interest and expertise in brand management, social media marketing, PNL management, and product development as well. Deven, it is an absolute pleasure to have you today, and I'm really looking forward to our discussion and learning from your experience.
Thank you so much for having me on board and really looking forward to it.
Fantastic. Devin, to begin with, if you can share, how did you plan your career path to be a successful marketing technology MarTech leader?
Okay, I think that's like quite a journey for me that, the one that I've had so far. I started out in content marketing.
Okay.
So I used to do everything that anyone can actually think of in content, doing captions, doing blogs, doing case studies, reports, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody who is in marketing, they actually need to know how the content that is being created is actually going to get amplified, is going to get
Right,
tracked, right? So
right,
you have that complete ownership. And
right.
that's where, I took that initiative and I said to my then reporting manager that, I want to drive that. And there was nobody who was, doing that. So there was like a sweet spot, which
Mm-hmm.
I started, picking up and, doing on my own. I took up
Yeah.
a few courses over the weekend. I was in Hyderabad and I used to study all like most of my weekends I would be studying and finding out that okay, these are certain no code tools which can be implemented. I can actually run email marketing through a very targeted drip.
Right,
Obviously there needs to be like a CRM system also in place, so we got like, I won't take the name of that CRM system, it's quite popular. And then that entire customer journey became much more targeted and specific. We started rolling out account based marketing, and then social media was also given to me, like the person who was working on that. And then with social media there used to be a lot of additional work that would come in, that okay,
right.
there are certain management things that need to be done. So unknowingly, MarTech happened,
Okay.
because drip, obviously your CRM automation, WhatsApp automation, your social media tracking, social listening, all of that.
Right.
Then obviously, I also got into that mindset that even when I'm doing brand campaigns,
Yeah.
so there needs to be a dashboard that can actually rule out the concept that brand is all about a black box. It's
Right.
only going to be awareness. can
Right.
can it do much more than that? Even brand leads to conversion, right?
Right.
Can there be an attribution that can be added? So I started working on building systems and processes, and uh, actually having a very, I would say, a focused approach that marketing and technology need to go hand in hand, and
Mhm.
that's where the nirvana lies for both.
Got it. Fantastic. And in this journey, what were the challenges you faced? And how did you kind of overcome them?
I think the biggest challenge for me was that uh, actually trying to find out what would actually work to my specific audience, like for them, right? Because I would consider myself to be fortunate that all across I've handled B2B and B2C hand in hand. So it's never been like, okay, this person is just a B2B marketer or a D2C marketer. It's always been like that. So you get to don different hats. And that's what the
Right.
challenge also lies in, opportunity as well, that, okay, a B2B person, like, a prospect,
Right.
the way they would perceive a solution is very different from what an actual retail customer would look at, right?
Right.
The journey to make that purchase is very different. a B2C person would actually just go online, purchase a shampoo, and that's it, right?
Right.
You do the entire remarketing and the drip, and the communication is also very, like, you can do very different content styles and market it, and
Right.
actually drive a very, I would say, razor sharp communication,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
can that same approach be replicated in a B2B space? The
Right.
answer is yes, right? You just need to be really consistent and try to not give up
Right.
early without actually trying out, say for example, a small pilot or a beta test, or
Hmm.
just some sort of I would say an experiment before you can actually jump the gun. So
Right.
for me, the challenge was that accepting that there could be some misses as well, and
Hmm.
then actually that you have to utilize those learnings to improvise your campaign even
Right.
further. Yeah, it's all about an iterative and optimized approach.
Fantastic. And how integral is marketing technology in the B2B space?
I think it is, I would say, the North Star for it's a Polaris for me at least,
Right.
because it actually gives a sort of semblance and direction that, okay, this is how the market is evolving, this is how your customer is also evolving in terms of
Right.
meeting their needs and requirements, and
Right.
these are the channels and platforms and the modes and styles of communication that you should be adopting so that
Right.
you are relevant, and then you can actually drive a conversation, because nobody likes to be told that you have to buy this. They
Right.
need to know that, okay, this is something that is missing in my life, I think.
Right.
So it's usually like that.
Hmm.
Any brand communication that you would actually see, if uh, I would say any creative print ad for that matter,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
would see, so it's like any land, I think I won't take the name of the brand, but yes, something like a prominent auto player in the market,
Right.
right?
Right.
A UK based. So
Yeah.
they had a very different style of communication, right? So
Right.
this particular car actually belongs to those who are the uh, the wild spirit. They like
Right.
off-road kind of a capability that they're looking for in the car. Very
Right.
interesting, very nice. Their digital campaign complemented their print campaign, and that's where that nirvana lies, that
Right.
everything that is offline, can it be replicated in a digital manner as well,
Right.
right?
Correct.
And that's precisely the reason why there are some campaigns that like really stand out from the crowd, and
Correct.
that's primarily what the agenda and the approach should be.
Very true. And so Devin, how can MarTech leaders implement? I mean, technology is very, very important even for marketing function, right? So how can MarTech leaders implement technology solutions which are best fit for their organization? What challenges they would typically face, and how do you think they should overcome those challenges?
I think the first challenge, like I think even before we talk about the challenges, I think the conception that MarTech is something very different. Neither marketing nor technology wants to own it,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that's not the case. I think both should actually work, join hands and work together. So that's where the buy-in is the first challenge that needs to be addressed, right? That
right,
it's a co-ownership of two verticals coming together to create magic. Right.
right,
I use those certain terminologies of magic, storytelling, and weaving that magic together, because
right,
that's how people should be willing to see the bigger picture. That okay, we should overcome our internal obstacles and then build something that is bigger and better.
right,
Uh, Martech is basically where technology assists marketing in achieving common goals,
correct,
and vice versa, right? Because the technology's end. I think nirvana also lies that you get people to adopt your product to actually drive conversion, right? And that's where
right,
technology's success is also uh, uh, checked for. Similarly for
okay,
marketing, that they need to drive those people to actually try out the product and do a demo, and any SaaS based organization, this is exactly how it works, right?
correct,
Even for an e-commerce player. So the first challenge obviously is to come to the same page and then obviously go own it. The
Right.
second is that to move out of that conception that one size is going to fit all your problems, it's going to be a panacea for all your issues. That's
Yeah.
not how it is. It could be, uh, you might not have just one single platform or a technology that can serve your purpose. It could be a
Yeah.
no-code tool also that can do it, or it could be a MarTech substack that you
Yeah.
can create and drive a certain kind of a conversion that you're looking for. Could be
Right.
brand, could be marketing, could be PR as well.
Right.
Anything that you can find,
Right.
right? And obviously, I think the third major challenge that at least the one that I have actually observed happening on a much larger scale is that people shy away. They
Mm.
don't want to try, they don't want to pilot, they don't want to actually see that what is the proof of concept that actually lies
Mm.
in
Mm.
MarTech, right?
Correct.
So it's like, you just want to do like a quick dip test and then move out of it. But that's not how
Right.
it should be. You can
Right.
always improvise and build a better campaign, a better funnel, a better approach to reach your consumers, right? And
Right.
then fourth is, I think, and I found this to happen repeatedly, people confuse MarTech with AdTech, and that is not how it is because uh, see, MarTech is all about how you're going to drive a certain conversion through your marketing initiatives, right?
Correct.
AdTech is all about your DSPs, some sort of a media planning, social
Correct.
that is there,
Ad tech. Correct.
and I think that's where the opportunity also lies
Right.
because if somebody can master both, I think they
Yeah.
will be to a large extent be indispensable.
Correct.
Yes,
Correct.
I think obviously these are certain challenges that have
Right.
been there.
Fantastic. I think very, very rightly put it across, Deven. And good conversation. I think you've covered quite a good points. Any best practices or industry trends? You did speak about quite a few, but any advices that you would like to suggest for MarTech leaders to be successful in their professional journeys?
I think the most important is to have an open, clear mind because I think anybody who understands their consumer, they
Yeah.
will, in some way or form, or sooner or later, will figure out how to reach to them, right?
Right.
They need to have clarity that whom they are even trying to have a conversation with.
Correct.
Usually it should not be like, say for example, you're running like a paid ad and you have like a very fancy system in place,
Yeah.
right? To track down conversions, but what conversion are you tracking? Are you tracking a demo? Are you tracking
Correct.
something like, I would say an RFQ? Is it something about downloading some business intelligence that you have created
Yeah.
for the industry or for that person, right?
Yeah.
And then second is obviously never to rule out the fact that now the world and brands are moving towards a more human connect. How can
Correct.
technology become more seamless in your consumer's journey or in your prospect's journey? And
Right.
how will you communicate to them so that there is actually a conversation happening? Is that
Correct.
communication that you were sending out, is it a blank BCC mail, or is it actually something which is much more customized? Is it much more account based marketing
Correct.
approach that you're adopting? Are you actually talking to the right person?
Yeah.
And are you saying the right things, right?
Yeah.
And that's where then the iteration comes. Are you saying it at the right time?
Right.
Right. Where are they exactly in that entire customer journey? I would not even label them in a funnel,
Right.
right? You actually need to understand where exactly they are in their life stage, what are the challenges, and then
Correct.
try to bring it in the form of a story because everybody, and I think it's also, I won't say that MarTech is in isolation or it's a
Hmm.
siloed bucket.
Hmm.
It's got a lot to do with neuroscience and psychology as well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because you need to know what your brain triggers are, what are the power words, when should you be, utilizing those on a landing page or maybe in a copy.
Yeah.
And I would say that it is actually magic
Yeah.
because you you won't even know, but your daily practice can actually yield magic for you as a professional, for your organization, and also for your customer, because that's where the real impact lies. And
Correct.
once that customer realizes that magic, that's where the evangelism and brand evangelism starts. And
Correct.
that's where your advocacy comes into the picture, and your PR no longer looks, it's just like a mechanism to be in the news. You will
Yeah.
actually have people talking about you.
Correct.
It's
Correct.
all it's all interlinked.
Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely. Fantastic. I think they've been great insights and some of the very important points, which I think are key for a lot of our viewers, which they can grab out of this interview. Thank you so much, Deven, for joining us today on this interview and sharing all these valuable experiences.
Thank you so much. I really loved the conversation, and I really hope that people are actually able to derive something of, a tangible value from this conversation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Deven.